Bro, just listen to me really quickly. I want to help you win. I want to help you become that young man who's about it, who's not taking no for an answer, who's disciplined, who's winning in all areas of his life. And I want you to have a brotherhood of young men supporting you. So go check out the description or message me on Instagram. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh, my pillow feels so good. Oh. Chris loves females. He loves them. He can't stop looking at them on Instagram, at work, at the gym. Everywhere he goes, he's looking at girls. But no girls are looking at Chris. He tries to say hello to girls when he's out in public, when he's clubbing, when he's doing his thing. But it just never works out that he gets any attraction from girls. And this makes Chris so depressed. He's in one of the worst places a man can get, which is lonely, has a lack of love, sad, and horny. This makes Chris almost a menace to society. He starts going off the rails even more. He's fapping 10, 20 times per day. He's going out drinking, doing drugs, just becoming a complete degenerate, all in the hopes that he'll get some attraction from females. Nothing's working! Chris is starting to say, I don't want girls, I don't need to focus on them, girls are worthless, they're all ugly. But Chris, all he wants is a girlfriend. So, what does he have to do? You see it all the time, bro, from the videos you watch, some even books you might read, that making money is everything that you should be focusing on trying to get laid, right? Or that your looks is super important, or having a bunch of status is super important, or your game, or your confidence, or your body. There's so many things that people will say. You need to focus on all these things. And I'll tell you something, all of this stuff is super important, but it's not the be all and end all to getting girls. Now, I do believe that making money, getting your looks on point, having some status, building up yourself in every frame of your life, right? It'll be the best thing that you can do. But is it the thing that matters the most? I don't believe so. Now, none of us realize that our inner self is something that will draw women to us, right? Or even money, or like other guys, right? Like if you want to build relationships, or want to build a network with some guys so that you guys can go out and conquer and win, it all comes from our inner self. And I can tell you that I always hated myself as a young man. I don't know if you boys can resonate, but those baddies that you had in school, right? The group of 5 or 6 of them. And, as a young guy, I knew I wasn't getting them. So I had, their IGs on my phone, a couple photos screenshotted. These were those girls. And anytime that they'd walk by, I'd instantly put my head down and sit there and think, I can never have them. I'm ugly. I'm Indian. I live in government housing. I have fucking the worst teeth in the world. I used to think that, and it broke me. And this was not even just at school. This was at parties, as I got older in life, and there was a certain point in my life at the age of like 16 or 17, I'd been with a whole bunch of girls, and I'd been in very short-term relationships, those kind of kiddie ones at 16 years old. And then I got into my first long-term real relationship at 17. But saying that, most of us boys think, and I'll say this, that if you're pushing a Lambo, you'll get bitches. If you've got all your looks on point, right, you'll get all the girls. It doesn't work like that, because we've seen guys who are pushing Lambos who are rich as hell that can't look women in their eyes because they're still weak, or they're dorky, or they're not about it. You'll see guys with great bodies and they're so insecure. Right, and it kind of like actually is more common than you think. The guy with the good body is more insecure than the kind of like the guy that doesn't kind of care about himself, right? It's weird, but it works, and you see that heaps of like guys that just focus on money. They're not doing anything else to build themselves up, right? They're still fat, or they're still just like they're weird, and that might even be you, bro. But this video will help, because I do believe all of these things are super important. but not nearly as important as you becoming your best self and making you number one in your life. And this is going to sound cringe, right? But if you start to focus on yourself, right? And I'm not saying that you can't have friends and you can't be talking to girls and you can't be doing these things, but if you're making yourself the most secure version of yourself, you'll see that you'll have no issue in the future as you become more secure, getting girls, even making money. Because most of us don't realize that when we don't focus on our inner self, and I'll lay it out on how to do this, we're working from a place of neediness. So if you've got a girl in your life, like, you'll be so scared to like lose her or say the wrong thing because you might never get a girl again. Or you'll be walking from a place of like, you know, you're just too scared and you're too weak, and you're like, it comes off in you. And then girls kind of just despise it. They hate it. And it's not their fault that they hate it. Why would they want someone that's super insecure and just super needy and just like doesn't know what he's doing? The more secure I became in my life, and I mean this, bro, the more girls I got. I mean that. I didn't get more girls in my life and then I became secure. I swear, I became more secure by focusing on making myself into the best version that I could, right? And there was a motivation to get more girls, but it wasn't the main thing. It was a byproduct. Make sense? So what do I mean? Let me show you, right? If you make money, right? Make money through a purpose. This is super important. If you're building your looks up, right? Okay, yeah, you can build your looks up for more girls, but build it for yourself at the same time. Build it like, and not in a cliche way. You're not doing this for body positivity. Do it for a sense like, I'm trying to build myself up because I do want to look sexy. I want to look sexy for me. I want to be proud of who I look at in the mirror, right? Because it works. It makes you feel good in turn. Your purpose is huge. If you start making money from your purpose, you're going to be secure. You start to get your looks on point. You start to build some status for a personal brand. Maybe you want to try and start a clothing brand, or you want to get your body on point so you can promote something, or for your business, right? You're a salesman, whatever. Do it from a place that you're building up your repertoire. Your toolkit is getting full of things that you can draw out and be like, well, I worked on my body. I've got a purpose. You know, I'm doing these things to build myself up. I feel good, right? Same thing when it comes to your frame as a man. You got to understand that your frame is your principles, your rules for your life, your values, what you will and won't stand for. And you have to be like, I don't want to stand for this for girls. I want to stand for this because this is what I believe in. This is the right thing to stand for as a man. And when you start to work from that premise, I'll tell you that you believe in who you are and what you're capable of doing. In your whole self, you become super certain because, well, you know what you will and won't tolerate. And the same thing goes again for your body, which I kind of linked to your looks, but your looks is also going to be your hair, your beard, your teeth, your dress style, your body. Of course, do it because you want to look sexy, as I mentioned before. And the same thing with your confidence. And this is also your social skills, which is, okay, let's say you got a bit of social anxiety, or you're anxious, or you're nervous. Build yourself up in a way that you're doing it so that you can allow this to push you in your business or in your career. And of course, to push you to get more girls as well. But do it from a place where it fulfills you. All of these things. And you'll see that you in turn, because you've been working on these areas of your life, but you've been doing it all for you, you'll see that you're secure, you're happy, and in turn, females and even money is attracted to you. Now, I'm not saying that it's just going to fall in your lap. You're still going to have to go online date, and you're going to have to approach girls and go out and, do your thing. But because you're coming from a place of securedness, it just becomes easier. It becomes, and like, you don't care if girls reject you, you don't worry because on to the next, or you've already got a couple of girls now, because in the journey of getting all of these things kind of locked in, you're becoming a better man. You're getting experience, you're building yourself up, you're making a little bit extra money, you're focused, you're driven, and you see that people are just more attracted to you. Money's easier to make because you're not so worried about taking risk or all these things that come about with making it. And you'll see just everything happens more easier the more secure you become. You'll get more girls the more secure you become. You'll make more money the more secure you'll become. You'll have better friendships, relationships. Everything will happen when you become more secure of yourself. So do these things with the byproduct of getting more girls, getting more money, all of these things. But do it for you first. Because when you're working from that place of securedness, nothing can stop you. Nothing can break you. Your frame builds as a man. You feel confident. You feel sexy. Your self-esteem's up there. Just everything about you is up there. So you become, and I love saying this, you become the actual prize. You become that guy like, whoa, man, there's a lot of pretty girls out there, but there ain't a lot of guys who's like him. Right? I mean that. So then the power kind of shifts as well, bro. And the girls are like, whoa, who's that? Like, oh, I haven't met a guy like him before. Like, they'll come up to you. I mean that. Now, I'll say something to you right now, bro. If you want to join me and young guys like you, all building yourself up, go to the link in the description. Or if you want to do one-on-one coaching, message me on Instagram, or same thing, go to the link in the description. I love you, brother. I really mean that. Let's go.